Gervonta Tank Davis rips Jared Anderson over his performance on the top-ranked card and says, man, I'm watching a SHITTY heavyweight. This, with the performance of Jared Anderson on ESPN's card last night, I definitely have something to say about this, and it is a problem for sure. But let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. Hey, Jared Anderson fought a guy out of Denmark. I think it's Mehri, M-E-H-R-I. The guy that was coming off a knockout win against Tony Yoka, an Olympic heavyweight out of France, who was highly touted in the beginning of his career, but since, crapped out. Jared Anderson fought him. And it was not the most entertaining fight in the world. And actually, it was quite boring. And Gervonta Davis responded to it when he was asked, hey, champ, what are you doing tonight? And he said, watching an SHITTY heavyweight, I turned that crap off. Now, real quick before I get into this, because the long and short of it for me is that's not Jared Anderson's fault. And even though, maybe it's a scenario where he can find a way to make the fight exciting for somebody. But this has happened several times as of late, where there are fighters that get in there in the ring and they really don't have any intention on fighting. They're really trying, in a way that is going to actually entertain fight fans. And fight fans wind up saying, man, this crap is boring. And they don't. And they turn it off, or they don't want to see you in your next fight. And some of this is not just the fault of the fighter, because in the case of Jared Anderson was trying to fight. Jared Anderson threw a lot of punches. He was coming forward. He was cutting off the ring. He was jabbing he was going to the body. He was going up top. But Mehri was just sitting there trying to throw. Looking to throw a wild overhand right, an over the top right, looking to hope to catch him with that shot and knock him out. So Mehri was pretty much looking for a one-punch knockout the entire fight and was not engaging and just backing up. Maybe one round he looked like he tried to fight for even a little bit of time because he didn't want to get caught in between throwing punches, and he just fought super, super tentative. Well, whose fault is that? That the fight is boring? It's the matchmaker's fault. It's the matchmaker's fault. It's the fighter. It's the fault of the guy that says, okay, let me put Jared Anderson in here. You're trying to develop Jared Anderson into the point where he's ready to fight for one of the bigger name fights out there, right? Well, do you have him headlining a card with a fight like that, with a guy that basically said he was going to be extremely patient? He wasn't going to, if you listen to Tim Bradley on the way into the fight, Tim Bradley said that's exactly what Mehri said he was going to do. And Mehri, I think, wound up throwing 144 punches the entire fight. That's a 10-round fight. That's 14 punches a round. It's 14 punches a round. 14 divided by 3 is 5. So, yeah, 5 punches. You're throwing 5 punches a minute, which is 1 punch every 20 seconds. And you know that that's not all grouped into. One, evenly distributed. There's a round, like maybe around 8 or 9, 7, 8 or 9, where he actually threw more punches in that round. And I'm sure that took up a lot of the shots that were counted. And many of those were just jabs, It's just terrible situation. And it reminds me a lot of the fight with Jermaine Taylor. Like Jermaine Taylor and not Jermaine Taylor, I'm sorry. Jermaine Ortiz, dating myself. Shout out to the great Jermaine Taylor, man. Victor, former undisputed champion at middleweight, beat Bernard Hopkins. Jermaine Ortiz, when he fought Teofimo Lopez, and he would only engage when Teofimo Lopez wasn't. then he would start throwing. But other than that, just anyway, sometimes it can be ugly, but fighters got to do what they got to do to get on to the next fight. I completely understand that. However, if you're going to have a main event card and expect people to stay up till midnight to see these fights on a Saturday night when there are other things to do, man, come on, man. And that fight was dang near at midnight, man. I mean, I think the main event went on somewhere around Central Time, like 10 p.m., man. So you're thinking, okay, man, I can go watch this or I can go watch some YouTube shorts. I may scroll through some YouTube shorts before spending my time doing this. That's why I was so complimentary, and I may remain complimentary of Showtime, of ESPN moving their fights to Thursday and putting their fights on Friday. This fight should have been on Thursday. This fight should have been on Friday. This whole card should have been that. And the one exciting fight that there was on there was that I saw, because I didn't watch all the fights, and I'm sure somebody else, there was a knockout of a heavyweight on that card. A debut guy knocked out this kind of like journeyman, 36-year-old, 37-year-old journeyman who probably was from Corpus Christi, Texas, where the fight was held. He got that knockout. I saw that highlight. But Abdullah Mason, who looked very good, definitely looking forward to seeing more of Abdullah Mason. But I just think that was just not a good fight to put on with Jared Anderson. You could have had somebody that was a little bit more engaging. They could have really featured him and made him look spectacular, or given him an opportunity to look spectacular when he's headlining a card. But so Gervonta Davis jumping out there and saying, man, this is Ishii heavyweight. Man, maybe there are things that he sees, because obviously he's a professional fighter that knows what, maybe that he saw technique wise that could have got this particular person to like engage more and allow you to get more opportunities, like back up, and not just walk behind the guy. And I'm not saying that Jared Anderson was walking behind Miri and couldn't cut off the ring. That's nonsense. He absolutely cut off the ring, and he had the guy right there in front of him. The dude just stayed there in a high guard and blocked and deflected all the punches coming at him. So that's just what it was. And without any real intent on firing back until he could get that overhand left off on him, overhand right off on Jared Anderson, which Jared Anderson picked off multiple times. He's just looking for that home run. But anyway it goes, man, I'm still bullish on Jared Anderson as a fighter. I think he's got tremendous skills. There's just sometimes, man, where people just, like a guy like that just wants to stink the place up, man, and pick up his paycheck. That's what it seemed like to me. A 5'9", and people say, well, it's a 5'9" cruiserweight. I've never been a believer that cruiserweights are not heavyweights, number one. But because the whole division should be the heavyweight division. But anyway, that particular guy, if you don't want to fight, it's going to be hard to find gaps. The guy was out there to survive, and he was out there not to get knocked out. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. To tip my hat to Gervonta Davis, Gervonta doesn't give boring fights. If people start booing and falling asleep, Gervonta Davis would go out of his way to try to do something to make the fight more exciting. And that's why Gervonta Davis gets the big checks. That's why Monster Inoue is a big thing, because his fights aren't boring. Now, they may be taking place at 3 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, and it's beyond me why American fight fans fake being so obsessed and impressed by him, a guy that they do not see fight. But to the defense of the Inoue fans, I would rather get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and watch that than stay up till midnight to watch that garbage that they put on ESPN. And again, that is not Jared Anderson's fault. That is that Miri's guy's fault, who did not come in there to win. When you watch the boxing match, which is a fight, you're thinking that both guys are going to try to win. That guy didn't try to win. He just tried to not get knocked out. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.